Ma'am, this is a restricted facility. You can't just walk in here.
I work here. I'm going to my lab.
Sure you do. ID?
It's in my bag. I've been coming here for 2 years.
I've never seen you before. Who's your supervisor?
I don't have one. I run the protein research section.
Right. Wait outside while I verify this.
These samples need cold storage in 15 minutes.
I don't care about your samples.
Officer Martinez had no idea what he just walked into. In the next 12 minutes, he would illegally stop a lead researcher. He would destroy $47,000 in experiments. He would trigger a federal investigation. The woman he dismissed as a trespasser had a PhD in biochemistry from Johns Hopkins. She ran a $2.3 million cancer research grant. She had published 18 papers in major science journals. She was one of only 15 people in the country authorized to handle the viral samples now dying in her bag. Her keycard had full building access. Her name was on the directory in the lobby. Her face was on the university's research website, and the building's security cameras were capturing everything. Before I go on, let me ask you, have you ever been questioned by security when you had every right to be there? Drop your story in the comments. But Officer Martinez had no idea who he'd just stopped. This is Dr. Keisha Wallace. She's 37 years old. She's the lead researcher at Stanford Medical Research Center. She runs the viral oncology lab. Dr. Wallace got her PhD in biochemistry from Johns Hopkins in 2014. She's been doing cancer research for 12 years. She studies how proteins work in tumor cells. She's published 18 papers in top science journals like Nature and Cell. Right now, she's the head of a $2.3 million government grant. That grant funds research on using viruses to fight cancer. Here's what Officer Martinez didn't know. Dr. Wallace is one of only 15 people in America certified to handle dangerous viral samples. She sits on an FDA panel that advises on gene therapy. She has Department of Defense security clearance for biodefense research. Her lab has created 3 compounds now being tested in human trials. She's also a single mother of 2 kids, ages 8 and 11. She drives 45 minutes to work every day. She's known for arriving early to prep experiments before her team gets there. On this Tuesday morning in March 2024, Dr. Wallace was just trying to get to work on time, like she had every weekday for the past 2 years. Officer David Martinez had a different kind of reputation at Stanford Medical Center. David Martinez is 42 years old. He's worked for Stanford University Department of Public Safety for 8 years. In the 18 months before this incident, campus security got 7 complaints about Martinez. Every single one involved Black or Latino researchers being questioned in areas where they belonged. In September 2022, he stopped a Black graduate student entering an engineering lab at 6 in the morning. He demanded proof of enrollment despite the student's valid ID card. In March 2023, he questioned a Latino supervisor about loitering in a building he'd cleaned for 6 years. He only backed down when a white coworker vouched for him. In November 2023, at this same building, he stopped Dr. Wallace's research assistant. She's also Black. He demanded to know who let her in. She was wearing a lab coat with a visible ID badge. Research staff started calling him Badge Boy. He'd asked to see credentials even when people were clearly already inside secured areas. HR had 3 formal complaints about him, 11 more informal reports. Martinez received bias training twice. Nothing changed. Type justice in the comments if you think he should have been fired sooner. But on March 19, 2024, Martinez picked the wrong person to profile. This time, someone with resources would fight back. It's Tuesday, March 19, 2024. The time is 6:47 in the morning. The location is Stanford Medical Research Center, Building 3. That's the infectious disease and oncology wing in Palo Alto, California. It's a quiet morning before dawn. Fog is rolling through campus. Only 4 other cars are in the parking lot. The building lights are on, but the hallways are mostly empty. Dr. Wallace is carrying an insulated sample case. Inside are time-sensitive viral specimens from overnight testing. You can hear her heels clicking across the parking lot. Her badge beeps at the entrance. The door unlocks. Green light. 2 night shift lab techs are still working. Their names are Maria Chen and David Okonkwo. One custodian named James Williams is finishing the 3rd floor. Officer Martinez is on routine patrol. He notices Dr. Wallace from his patrol car as she walks toward the east entrance. He exits his vehicle. He watches her badge in successfully. The door unlocks for her. He follows her inside within 30 seconds. Dr. Wallace heads toward the elevator. She doesn't notice him at first. Then Martinez calls out, "Excuse me, ma'am, stop right there." Dr. Wallace turns. She's slightly startled. She recognizes the uniform. Martinez immediately positions himself between her and the elevator. If stories like this matter to you, hit subscribe. We expose these patterns every week. Martinez demands to know why she's in the building. Dr. Wallace explains she works there. She needs to get to her lab immediately. The samples are time-sensitive. Martinez asks for ID. Dr. Wallace says it's in her bag, but her badge just worked on the door. Only authorized people can access this building. Martinez says, anyone could steal a badge. I need to see photo ID. Dr. Wallace sets her sample case down to get her wallet. Martinez comments, "What's in the case?" He explains they're viral samples for cancer research. He steps back. "You're carrying viruses. How do I know that's legal?" Dr. Wallace is frustrated now. She explains she's the principal investigator. This is literally her job. The samples need refrigeration in the next 10 minutes. Martinez says, "I'm going to need you to wait here while I verify your credentials. Don't touch that case." Dr. Wallace replies, "My credentials are in the system. My badge worked. I'm going to my lab now." She starts to pick up her case. Martinez steps closer. "Ma'am, if you move, I'm going to have to restrain you. I have reason to believe you're trespassing." A lab tech named Maria Chen exits the stairwell. She recognizes Dr. Wallace. "Dr. Wallace, is everything okay?" Martinez asks. "Do you know this woman?" Maria says, "Of course, she's my boss. She runs the whole viral oncology program." Martinez dismisses her. "I need to verify that myself. Please step back." The custodian, James Williams, stops to watch from the hallway. Martinez is now standing directly over the sample case. Dr. Wallace checks her watch repeatedly. 8 minutes left. Martinez's hand moves to his radio. "I'm calling this in." Dr. Wallace's voice rises. "You are actively destroying months of research right now." What Martinez didn't know was that Maria Chen had already pulled out her phone, and she was recording everything. Martinez radios dispatch. He says there's a potential trespasser in Building 3, East Entrance. Black female 30s claiming to be a researcher. Dr. Wallace's professionalism cracks. "Are you seriously profiling me right now? I have never been stopped like this. I work here every single day." Martinez replies, "This has nothing to do with I'm just doing my job." His dispatcher comes back within 60 seconds. "Martinez, that's Dr. Keisha Wallace. She's authorized." "She's the pie on the 3rd floor." Martinez is uncertain now but still defensive. "Well, I still need to see your ID to confirm." Maria Chen is still recording. She speaks up. "Officer, I've told you she's my supervisor. She has a PhD. She runs our entire program. Why are you still holding her here?" James Williams, the custodian, adds, "I've been cleaning her lab for 2 years. I've seen her here every morning. You've never stopped anyone else coming in early." Dr. David Okonkwo comes down from the 3rd floor lab. "Keisha, what's going on? We're waiting on those samples. They're past the window. Why haven't you?" He sees Martinez. "Oh, let me guess. He stopped you." Dr. Okonkwo turns to Martinez. "Do you know how much those samples cost? Do you know how long it takes to grow those cell lines? You just destroyed 6 weeks of work." Martinez realizes the situation is bad. "Ma'am, I was just, look, you can go." "I verified." Dr. Wallace cuts him off. "No, I want your name, your badge number, and your supervisor, right now." Maria's phone has been recording for 4 minutes. The building security footage captured 7 camera angles. The badge access logs show Dr. Wallace's successful entry. Lab access records show her entering at the same time every morning for 24 months. Radio dispatch recorded Martinez's call about a potential trespasser. Dr. Wallace calls her department chair, Dr. Robert Chen. He contacts Stanford Public Safety Chief immediately. The chief arrives within 15 minutes. As Dr. Wallace walks away to finally store her samples, they're now compromised. More researchers arrive and recognize what's happening. Martinez's radio crackles with his supervisor demanding an explanation. He understands he's in serious trouble. He tries to backtrack. "Dr. Wallace, I apologize if there was any misunderstanding. I was just ensuring building security." Dr. Wallace walks past him without responding. "Let me know in the comments what you would have done in her situation." By now, Martinez was starting to understand how badly he messed up, but he didn't yet know that the woman he'd profiled wasn't just a researcher. She was also the daughter of a civil rights attorney and the sister of an ACLU investigator. Stanford Public Safety Chief Carol Henderson arrives at 7:12 in the morning. She's a 22-year veteran. She used to work for San Francisco Police. She brings her shift supervisor with her. Chief Henderson reviews Maria Chen's phone footage in full. She pulls building security footage from 7 angles. She check. KS badge access logs. Dr. Wallace has used this entrance 487 times in the past 24 months. She interviews 3 witnesses, Maria Chen, James Williams, Dr. Okonkwo. She interviews Martinez. He claims he was following standard protocols for people he didn't recognize. She pulls Martinez's incident reports from the past 18 months. Martinez's story falls apart fast. He claimed he didn't recognize her. But his patrol route passes this entrance every morning. Dr. Wallace arrives between 6:45 and 7 every weekday. 5 researchers confirm Martinez has seen her before. He claimed her badge could have been stolen, but stolen badge protocols require checking building access logs. Martinez didn't do that. Badges automatically shut off when reported stolen. Dr. Wallace's badge was active, valid, and in her name. He claimed he had to verify she was supposed to be carrying biohazards, but Building 3 is specifically for dangerous research. Anyone with access is authorized for biohazards. Martinez has never stopped white researchers carrying sample cases. Chief Henderson pulls Martinez's full record. In 18 months, he performed verification checks on 23 people in Building 3. 19 were people of color, 4 were white. White researchers were asked for ID and allowed to go. Researchers of color were held for an average of 8.5 minutes. The decision is immediate. Martinez is placed on administrative leave pending investigation. Stanford Public Safety opens a formal internal investigation. University HR opens a discrimination investigation. Chief Henderson personally apologizes to Dr. Wallace. Dr. Wallace is professional but firm. She accepts the apology from the chief, but she says this is part of a pattern. She points to previous complaints. She requests institutional accountability. Dr. Wallace documents the destroyed samples, $47,000 in lost materials, 6 weeks of research gone. Maria's footage is shared with Dr. Wallace, the department chair, and the dean. The research team is supportive but shaken. This confirms fears many had about Martinez. Within 2 hours, the viral oncology lab staff writes a letter demanding Martinez be fired. If you believe officers who racially profile should lose their jobs, hit that subscribe button. We're tracking stories like this every week, but the consequences were just beginning because Maria Chen didn't just send her footage to Stanford. She sent it to her cousin, who worked for ABC 7 News. By 2 in the afternoon on the same day, the video is uploaded to Twitter. The caption says Stanford cop racially profiles black PhD scientist entering her own lab. By 3:30, it has 47,000 views. Academic Twitter picks it up. #Stanford while black is trending. By 6 that evening, 380,000 views. Local news stations are requesting interviews. By 11 at night, it's featured on ABC 7, NBC Bay Area, and CBS San Francisco. 1.2 million views across platforms. By midnight, it's on Reddit's public freakout page, 73,000 upvotes. Another post on Bad Cop No Donut gets 91,000 upvotes. The next morning brings national coverage. CNN, MSNBC, NPR, 4.8 million views total. 48 hours later, TikTok explodes, duets, stitches. Commentary videos, it reaches 18 million views. Final viral numbers, Twitter has 4.2 million views, 89,000 retweets, 340,000 likes. TikTok hits 18.3 million views across reposts. Reddit gets 450,000 combined upvotes across 6 communities. YouTube has 2.1 million views on news clips. The public responds. She literally badged in and he still stopped her, while black in STEM. Another comment says, "This is why we have so few black scientists, this daily harassment." One more says, he destroyed $47,000 of cancer research because he couldn't believe a black woman belonged there. Major media covers it, ABC 7, NBC Bay Area, CBS San Francisco, CNN, MSNBC, NPR, The Washington Post, The New York Times. The Atlantic runs a piece called The Hidden Tax of Being a Black Scientist. Stanford University releases a statement within 36 hours, taking this matter seriously. Comprehensive review, committed to inclusive environment. Martinez makes no public statement. His union representative releases a brief comment. Officer Martinez was following established protocols and denies any discriminatory intent. Comment below if you think that excuse is good enough. 3 days later, Dr. Wallace's attorney filed a federal lawsuit. Her attorney was her father. Marcus Wallace, a 35-year civil rights lawyer. Dr. Keisha Wallace filed a federal civil rights lawsuit. Her attorney is Marcus Wallace from Rillman Colfax law firm. That's her father. The lawsuit is filed under federal law for Fourth Amendment violation. It also includes a discrimination claim. The date is March 22, 2024, 3 days after the incident. The defendants are Officer David Martinez, Stanford University, and Stanford Department of Public Safety. The claims include unlawful detention, racial profiling, violation of civil rights, intentional emotional distress, and destruction of property. Discovery reveals a pattern. Internal Stanford emails show previous complaints about Martinez, 23 documented incidents, proof that Martinez got bias training twice but kept doing it. Statistical analysis shows Martinez detained researchers of color at 4.75 times the rate of white researchers. 11 additional researchers come forward with similar stories. Text messages between Martinez and another officer making racially coded comments about suspicious people in research buildings. The case settled in October 2024. Here's what Dr. Wallace got: $2.8 million for emotional distress and civil rights violation, $1.2 million in punitive damages, $800,000 in attorney fees, total $4.8 million. But that's not all. Stanford agreed to institutional changes, mandatory bias training for all public safety officers, quarterly training from an outside firm. New protocol: officers cannot detain anyone who successfully accessed a secured building without supervisor approval, an independent review board for discrimination complaints, public reporting of stop data, race, reason, duration, outcome, $500,000 for anti-racism programs in STEM departments. Martinez's consequences were severe. He was fired from Stanford Public Safety in August 2024. He cannot work in law enforcement in California. The state started decertification proceedings. He's named in 3 additional lawsuits from other researchers. He's subject to an FBI civil rights investigation that's still ongoing. Dr. Wallace donated $500,000 of her settlement. It went to a scholarship fund for Black women in STEM. She made a statement: "This was never about money. This was about accountability, about making sure no other Black scientist has to prove they belong in their own lab." Stanford revised their entire campus security protocol. The UC system adopted similar policies across 10 campuses. The National Association of Campus Safety Administrators issued new guidelines. Wait until you hear what Dr. Wallace said next. But the story didn't end with money. It ended with Dr. Wallace standing in front of 200 early career scientists at a conference in Chicago. This happened at the ABRCMS conference in Chicago in November 2024. That's the annual biomedical research conference for minoritized scientists. Dr. Wallace spoke to 200 young scientists. Here's what she said: "For weeks after I couldn't sleep, I'd arrive at work and pause outside the building. My heart would race. I'd check for security vehicles. I'm a grown woman with a PhD. I have publications. I have grants. And one man with a badge made me doubt whether I belonged in my own lab." She continued, "I had resources. I had my father an attorney. I had witnesses. I had media attention. Most researchers in my position have none of that. They just suffer in silence. They document the small insults, and they burn out. We're losing Black scientists not because they can't do the work, but because they're exhausted from proving they have the right to do it." Her message to workers was clear. You don't have to accept this. You don't have to be polite when someone profiles you. You don't have to teach people why you deserve basic dignity. Document everything. Find your witnesses. Report it. We deserve better. Her message to institutions was direct. Stop calling this implicit bias. Stop with the training that changes nothing. Look at your data. If your security stops Black people at 5 times the rate, that's not bias. That's policy. Change the policy. She thanked her supporters. To Maria, who hit record, to Dr. Okonkwo, who backed me up, to my team who rallied, to my father who taught me to fight, and to every person who shared that video. You made silence impossible. Her closing words were powerful. I'm still at Stanford. I'm still doing the work. Because David Martinez doesn't get to take my lab away from me. No one does. This case exposed something bigger than one officer. 67% of Black STEM professionals report facing racial discrimination at work. Black scientists are 10% of PhD graduates, but only 5% of tenured faculty in STEM. Black researchers get $400 million less annually in government funding than white peers with the same qualifications. 1 in 3 black professionals in STEM consider leaving their fields due to hostile work environments. Most workers can't afford to fight back like Dr. Wallace did. She had her father as her lawyer. She had witnesses willing to speak up. She had video proof. She had media attention. Most people have none of that. So let me ask you, do we actually want black scientists in our labs? Or do we just want the appearance of diversity while questioning them every day about whether they belong? Do we believe accountability means anything when officers can destroy $47,000 of cancer research and face no consequences until a video goes viral? Do we think it's acceptable that Dr. Wallace needed a lawyer father, video evidence, and 18 million views to get justice when most people have none of that? Because if we don't fix the systems that treat black professionals as suspects in their own workplaces, if we don't demand real transparency and real consequences for racial profiling, then we're just waiting for the next David Martinez, the next destroyed experiment, the next brilliant scientist who decides the daily humiliation isn't worth it and leaves STEM entirely. Comment below if you believe universities should be required to publicly report campus police stop data by race. If you think stories like this matter, hit that subscribe button. We're going to keep exposing these patterns. We're going to keep demanding better. We're going to keep fighting for accountability in law enforcement, for safety in workplaces, for the basic dignity of being believed when you say I work here. This isn't just about one campus cop or one scientist. It's about all of us and the system we're willing to tolerate. See you in the next one.